Hey everybody, welcome to the Terran Show. Happy Tuesday. Happy mid-December. Happy first snow in New York City has happened. It's very small though, it didn't stick. So I'm hoping there's more snow when we get back. Guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I need to stop recording these the day of. The last, I think, 3, this will be the 3rd, that I've recorded the day of. And I want to add a little bit more preparation to it. I've just been really busy. And I'll get into it. I mean, what have I been busy with? Work. Work's been pretty busy. For those that are in sales, a lot of my friends are in sales. And to those that listen to this, get it. It's always busy. December is not too bad, though, because it's a harder month. I mean, it depends on which way you look at it, right? Like, December is a difficult month to make sales, to get meetings, and for those who want to slack off, it's a little bit easier, and for those who want to grind and hit quota, it's a little bit harder. I'm a grinder, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I work hard. I don't want to be overconfident, but I know I work hard, like, I don't really see myself being in a position where I'm not trying to be the best or not trying to work very hard. I just have like a natural work instinct in me. Shout out my dad, I think that's where I get it from. And shout out my grandma, that's where he gets it from. But I think this time around I have been a little bit more chill. Like, breaks coming up, I'm still making 100 plus dials every single day. I'm still shooting for books, but I think mentally I'm not as stressed. Other months I'm like, if I'm behind, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to change? Do I need to turn up even more? When I was an intern at Memory Blue, my last 2 weeks, I was making 200 dials a week, or 200 dials a day. 250 some days. And I was just going at it. And that's fun for me. I look at it like a game. Like, whatever job I'm doing. Even when I was working at Walmart, I worked my ass off. I remember one time I was sitting with my manager. We were standing just on the sales floor, and like just in Walmart. And it was me, my manager, and another manager. And we were just sitting there talking. They were sitting there chatting. And I'm so stupid for this because I should have like kind of read the room. But we were just sitting there talking, and I was standing there with them. And for me, I don't like standing around doing nothing. But these are my bosses. These are my managers. So, if they're sitting there talking, obviously I'm not going to look the worst for sitting there talking. And I'm not going to get in trouble because my boss is there. But I was like just sitting there listening to them chat and like gossip, and I was like, dude, I need to get back to work. Like, I felt so inclined to work. I was like, do you guys need me for anything? Because I phrased it so poorly. I was like, I just feel weird about like standing here like not working. And then they like looked at me and looked at each other, and they're like, what is this kid saying about us? And they're like, oh yeah, you're good to go. So then I went back to like stocking shelves, and it was really awkward. Bad way to phrase it, but it's just a testament to like, I don't like sitting around and not working. I go crazy. I need something to do. And my imagination works very hard when I'm not working. I think there's actually a lot of creative people. I knew this guy, old friend of mine, kind of had a falling out with, we ended up reconciling and talking again. And shout out to him, man, all love. But he's very, very smart and very, very creative. But he, I think, struggles with a lot of mental health stuff, similar to myself, and I think similar to a lot of very creative people. And by looking at him, I think like he's a good archetype of a really, really creative, like, genius. But looking at him and looking at other creative people, they always do have something a little bit off about them, and I think it's because their imagination is so vivid that if they're not filling it with their creative desires or not working or doing something, their imagination can work in the negative. I think of it like this. I think the imagination comes from our attachment to beyond reality. So our imagination, our eyes and our feeling and our 5 senses are attachment to reality. Our imagination is our attachment to beyond reality, what the possibilities of reality could be. And I believe our imagination, what gives us all of our ideas on how to build buildings, how to discover math, how to interpret love and stories and things like that. Our imagination connects to the higher powers and gives us things like, like physical inventions like cars, for an example. Like, someone came up with the idea of a car. I think that comes from a higher power. Someone thinks and uses their ideas that they've interpreted from this world, but they're able to use their consciousness, which is their power, really, and they're able to come up with a car. The thing is, when someone's really open to imagination and the other dimensions and creativity, you don't just get messages from higher powers, you get messages from lower powers, and that's the juxtaposition between heaven and hell and like God and the devil. So if someone's really creative, a great example right now is Kanye, who's just gone and absolutely insane. And I don't mean that in a derogatory term. I mean that in it's sad for me to see, as someone who has family members with bipolar disorder, who have had friends who I suffer from personally. Actually, I haven't talked much about it, but I'm also bipolar. I could see it in Kanye, and it's sad. But the thing is, a lot of these artists really do. An artist of any sense, right? Someone that makes music or someone that makes paintings, but also artists like architects, people that build huge buildings, art. So engineers, they get these thoughts from higher power, but they also get these thoughts from lower powers, and the lower powers will give you thoughts that are not good for you or the world, and that's why they're in a lower dimension. But I think everything travels through the dimensions. Everything goes up and everything goes down, as above, so below. But, yeah, man, just been working hard, been busy, but I have a new content strategy plan, and I'm just going to run this by you guys. Right now, I've been doing 2 podcasts a week, Tuesday and Thursday. I'm going to keep doing this, and it's going to be kind of like my diary. I'm also going to talk about ideas and try to give advice, but for the most part, it's just meant to encapsulate my personality. So I'm going to drop these every Tuesday and Thursday, 30 minutes, 45 minutes max, where I just talk like I am now, but also go through some ideas. I'm going to go through some ideas today. One of them is how to look cool when entering a room. So if you're curious about how to make yourself look cool and look powerful, I got you later on. But what I want to do with the content is make a coaching business, make a brand for myself. So as well as the podcast, every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to take clips from the podcast and make them into TikToks, which every social media has TikTok now. Instagram has Reels, /Facebook has Reels. Snapchat has this TikTok thing. I'm probably not going to use it, though, because Snapchat's I don't use Snapchat a lot, and I don't think it's good. I just don't think it's worth the investment right now. But I'm going to use Reels. I'm going to use YouTube Shorts. And I'm going to use TikTok to post clips from this podcast of the places where I'm giving advice. And then I'm also going to keep doing what I've been doing on TikTok, which is just pull out my phone, and when I think of an idea, shout it out there. Oh, how to do this, or here's a life lesson that should help. So I'm going to do that on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Reels. So started the new year. I've been pretty consistent posting one a day. So I started mid-November, post a TikTok a day. I've been doing it for the past 3 weeks. Going into the new year, it's going to be 2 a day. And one of them will be a clip, one of them will be natural. So that way I can prep the clips before. On the weekend, I can prepare 14 clips. Well, actually, I only need 7. So I'll prepare 7 clips from the podcast to post on those 3. And then I'll just do 1 a day of me spitballing something random. And that way I can build the brand that way. Then, as well as the podcast every Tuesday and Thursday, and then as well as these clips, I'm going to do 2 YouTube videos a week. And that's going to be Monday and Friday. Maybe Monday and Wednesday. I need to look at the algorithm. I feel what makes more sense would be Wednesday, Friday, or even Friday, Saturday. I have to think about this, but either way, 2 days a week after the new year. And the YouTube videos are going to be things that I find interesting. YouTube video essays. I have a made-up dialogue between 2 spirits that I'm going to turn into something. I don't know how I'm going to animate it. That's going to be a hard one, but it's a good story. I'm excited to release that one. But a lot of them will just be video essays on points that I make about reality. It's all my philosophies. And that'll be dropped on the same channel as YouTube. So 2 TikToks a day on 3 different platforms, 2 podcasts a week, 2 YouTube videos a week. It's going to be a grind, but I want to do it, man. I believe that's my whole content strategy plan. I'm also going to attach with everything an end goal for my business. So I am working on Malad coaching and consulting, and that is going to be focused on helping people develop into the characters that they want to be, helping people self-actualize, as well as businesses later on. But right now, I think I'm gonna do straight like B2C, business to consumer, or to customer, just because I think that I can get into that a little bit easier. It'll take a little bit less work, just, you know, legally, less time investment, because I'm still going to be doing my job that I'm doing now. But that's my goal, or that's my strategy plan. My goals for the year, I actually have them here. And this is kind of early for New Year's resolutions. Maybe I save New Year's resolutions for another podcast. Well, that's my strategy goal. I'll do that. We'll do New Year's resolutions. On another podcast. But those are my strategy goals. Sorry guys, I know. But that's what I've been doing, man. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I think if I am disciplined, I can take this somewhere. And I'm very happy I was not successful and rich when I was even younger. And I know I'm young. You know, I'm turning 23 tomorrow. I know I'm young, but a part of me, as being as competitive as I am, I always thought I'm like still kind of late, because when I was 18, I saw people on the internet that were rich at 18. When I was 20, I saw people that were rich at 20. Even now, you know, I have friends that have a lot of money and have successful companies beyond what I have. So I always feel like I'm late. But now I finally feel like I don't have to compare myself to others, and I don't have to pretend to be someone, because I'm confident enough in myself, and I know who I am, and I know what my goals are. And obviously that's going to change, but right now is the first time in my life, and over the last year I've developed this, but now I am not looking to post content to make myself seem like someone I'm not, as I feel confident that I am able to help people, that my philosophies, that my ideas will be beneficial, and I can share my genuine ones without trying to look cool or trying to be someone who I don't want to be. And in high school, and I grew up on social media, you know, I had Instagram at like 12, a Facebook at like 10, right? So it's like, for me, I am constantly trying to craft an image. But now I've come to the realization that I shouldn't craft an image, and I don't want to craft an image, because if I do and I pretend to be someone I'm not, then I have to go my whole life pretending on social media or in my business to be someone who I'm not, and that's just tiring, for one. Two, if I'm my genuine self and this works out, then I get to really feel the success of being my genuine self and it working out, because then my genuine self was successful. And if I fake who I am, then I may become successful, but then I get to live an unfulfilled life and think that, oh, this character that I created made it, and not myself. It wasn't my own adventure. So that's what I'm very excited for. I'm also a lot more disciplined. I can see things from a business standpoint. Like when I post a piece of content, I don't worry like, oh, what are other people in my high school going to think about this, or what are my friends and family going to think about this? Like now it doesn't matter. Now it's like, I want to be successful. This is an avenue to create a business and to be successful, and if I execute in these ways, I'm doing it to create a business. So if someone were to be like, oh, what are you doing? That's so cringy. In high school, I'd be like, oh, dude, it is cringy. Maybe I'm weird, or maybe I'm this. But now it's like, well, it doesn't really matter. You know, now I'm free from the criticism, and I'm not completely free. Of course, I'm going to not like when people judge me or hate on me. Kind of, though. I'm kind of crazy, but I kind of like to hate. I go back and forth. But I'm not like completely immune to it. I'm not a sociopath. But it's just at this point in my life, I'm not really afraid of like internet hate or other people judging me for wanting to be successful. One, because I feel like I've already found some success in my life, and a lot of times, you know, I still have a long ways to go, but like in a lot of places, I'm the person that people look up to, like, you know, within my family, within my social circles, within workplaces, at the schools I went to. So it's not something I stress about anymore. I have nothing to prove to anyone else. The rest of my journey is to prove to myself how much I can build while I'm here and how good of a man I can be. The rest of my life is me testing myself on my own integrity and testing myself on how hard I want to work and how much suffering I can endure to bring, happiness to myself and to the people around me. And that's a freeing thought. It's a very freeing thought, because before, and I think most people can relate to this, you can probably relate to this, it's like your life right now is about proving to someone else how much of a man you can be. Maybe it's your father, maybe it's your group of friends, or maybe it's how much of a good woman you could be. Maybe it's to your mother, your father, your friends, or you're trying to look cool on social media still. And I still want people to like me. I still want to look cool, I guess, but not so much like I used to before. Not in the same ways. And I recommend too to try to get to this point. And I know that's hard to do, and I don't think I'm that great. I think I'm pretty good, but not like some superhero, right? I just think that if you can get to the point mentally, and it doesn't mean you need to, think that you're the greatest. I think it's actually the opposite of that. You need to think that you are only what you make yourself. You're not what other people's opinion of you make up. But yeah, man, that's a content plan going forward. There's two ideas I wanted to talk about today, though, with you guys. Also, real quick, I know I said I was going to have one with my friend. I'm having recording issues with having a guest on with my recording software. So right now, that is delayed. Hopefully in 2 days on Thursday, we'll be able to do it. But we'll talk all about objectivism and Ayn Rand, which I'm curious to hear people's thoughts on. I'm looking forward to it. But today, I wanted to talk about how I use my shadow self. And shadow self, I forgot, I think it's Nietzsche. I'm going to butcher a lot of knowledge here, but I'm just going to give my thoughts on it. So there's some philosopher out there that talks about your shadow self, and I haven't read anything on that philosopher. I say that because I don't want to mischaracterize his work. So this is all independent of myself and kind of what I've learned about myself. I bring it up, though, because there are probably some similarities there, based on what I've heard on YouTube and small bits and pieces there. But I'll let you know what the conclusion I came up with. So, basically, I think I am a rather kind person, and I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and there's been times I've been rude to people, and there's probably people in my life that think of me as a rude person, and I probably was more rude to them than nice. So I just want to get that out the way. But I do think in general, and I may be wrong, if a lot of people correct me, but usually when I talk to someone will think that I'm kind, like I'm a nice person. When it comes to work, I don't want to step on anyone else. I want everyone to do good. When it comes to a team, like a sports team or any type of team trying to complete a goal, like a business team, I'm not jealous of others. I just want what is best for the group, and if that's me taking a back seat because someone can lead better than me, I do that. If it's me being the leader, I will try to do that. I'm still trying to learn to be a leader myself. But I say this because I think most people characterize me as a kind person and kind of like mellow. I don't really get into conflict that often. Like if someone comes up to me and tries to fight me, I'm not fighting. If someone were to come up to me today, like some random stranger, be like, F you, you're all these bad words and stuff, and calls me, basically says I'm not a man if I don't fight him, I'll say, hey man, I don't want to fight. Sorry, we're good to go. Like, it's not worth the confrontation. And when it comes to work, I'm like that as well. Like, there's no reason for us to go back and forth. I don't even like to compete with people at work or with people on my team. I know other people get motivated by competition. I feel it a little bit. But for the most part, I don't even care if I win or lose. I just want people to do well. But I say that because I also have a, air quotes, shadow self. And I think this is something that leaders who are very kind, I don't think I'm the kindest, it's not a brag, I'm just trying to say, I want to be kind to people, And people usually see me as like a kind, like patient leader. So I think we have to be transparent about it, though. People that are viewed as kind, I think of myself. I think of leaders that are usually very nice, but on the deep side of themselves, they have their shadow self. And I'll tell you what mine is. I'll just be very frank, because I've even had friends question me on things, and I question my niceness and think that it was ingenuine. And I think my kindness is genuine. I do want everyone to do well, and I do want everyone to succeed. But my shadow self is this. I still have this mentality. I would never let anyone on my team, in my family, in my friends, I would never let them succeed at the expense of me or our other teammates or my family. I want everyone to succeed. But if it's my success or your success, I'm choosing my success every time. That differs for like my children, my younger brothers, kids in general, children in general, I'll sacrifice myself for. But I will be kind to someone who's on my team or who I'm even in competition with. But don't think that I'm not still trying to absolutely destroy you. And not destroy you because I want to actually destroy you, but because I want to be that successful, right? For example, if you were competing with me, and there's no one I'm in competition with, not because I'm cool or like I'm better or worse than anyone. It's just like I said earlier, it's my own path. I'm not really trying to be like anyone else. But hypothetically, if you were in competition with me and you're like, I want to make more money than Terran, I would want you to make more money than me if you were trying to make $1 billion, $1,000,001, because I'm trying to make $1 billion. But if you were trying to make $100,000 and you were trying to be better than me, I would want to absolutely destroy you, because I want to be a billionaire, because I want to grow a huge business, because I want to do all these things. So if you think that you're in competition with me and you want to do a lot less than me, then I want to destroy you. I want to shatter your dreams. I don't want you to think of us as the same, not because I want you to feel sad, but because if those are your goals, we are not the same. And it's going to hurt if you think that me and you can operate on the same level. And I think that a lot of people have had this interaction with me, actually. Not a lot, not like an actual lot of people, but like I've had this go down, I think, with people that I have been friends with, that I'm no longer friends with, that I've been acquaintances with, is they try to keep up with me. And I'm saying this, I don't know if this will come back to bite me because I sound like crazy or anything, hopefully I don't sound like a bad person. I just want to be genuine. I just don't want to lie and pretend like I'm like this nice person that's like, like doesn't have any type of like self-interest. I'm a very self-interested person. I always want to win. I never want to lose. If it's me or you, I will take the win every single time. If I can give to charity and win, I will do that. If I can't give to charity, or if I have to suffer for you to be number one, I don't want you to be number one. I don't want you. And I think there's a lot of people out there like this. My main problem is there's a lot of people that I love seeing succeed because I think they're genuine people. And I think they are people that deserve to win because they work hard and they're smart. But I also see a lot of people that cheat, lie, and put other people's down, and they are successful. I've had friends that I think the only reason why they're successful is because they step on other people. They need someone else to find motivation. And those people disgust me. I want to tear those people down because I want to show them that the good wins. I want to show them that even if you're a cheater and you lie and you steal and you're going to go, no one can touch me, and you're all egotistical, right? Because I don't think my greatness comes from me. My hard work is not mine, it's my dad's, and my dad's is my grandmother's. My intelligence is not mine. My intelligence is my mother's and my grandmother's and my grandfather's. My opportunities have been, I thank God and the universe that these opportunities have come to me. I know it's not me, man. So I know that I need to give back, and my whole purpose is to use the resources I was given to give resources to others, because I'm going to be dead one day, and by pretending it was all me and I just did all the work myself and no one helped me, that's foolish. But there are people like that, and there are people that think, oh, I'm the best ever, and it's a lie. And they go around pushing other people around, and they're rude to other people, and they cheat, and they like to win like that, and they like to think that they're winners. And my goal for my shadow self is to climb the ladder of whatever social hierarchy that you think exists and destroy these people and humble these people and put these people in the place that they should be. And it's that if you are a liar and a cheater and a stealer, you should not be successful and you should be exposed. And if you think you're a winner because you cheat and you're successful, I want to show you that I can do it without cheating, so that all the ego you built because of the wealth that you've received, all of the success that you've got it because you cheated, and you've got it because you're lazy. And I want to show you that I will get it because I will work hard and I won't have to cheat. And then I want to look you in your eyes and I want to say, I'm happy for you. And I'm happy we both get to enjoy the spoils of working hard and being honest, genuine men. And then I want you to look at me and see that I did it the right way. And then I want you to doubt yourself. Because I don't want you to doubt yourself in any way that you feel like you're a piece of shit because of something inside of you. You shouldn't feel bad. And I don't really believe in guilt anyway, only if you really change. You don't need guilt if you're really changing. I talked about that in an old podcast, but you should feel bad if you are consistently committing bad actions. And I'm not there to bring that justice to you. I'm not going to destroy someone in the sense of I'm going to go make sure someone's unsuccessful. I'm never going to do that. No one in the world will I try to attack and try to make unsuccessful and try to take food out of their mouth, whatever. But I am going to take note that if there's these people that are lying and that are rude to people and that are being abusive, I will be trying to be more successful than them. Because for me, it's a test of myself, one, but then two, it's a test of God. Because a lot of people's frustration with the religion is, God, why do you let bad things happen? Well, for me, my question is this: God, I see these people with this success, these people that are very rude and very evil, and they're so abusive to others, and they're hurting others. God, I know that they will receive their lesson, and that their lesson is that their soul is being destroyed the more they destroyed others, and they wouldn't be destroying others if they didn't have destruction and negativity within themselves. I understand that, Lord. But I want to try to do this the right way. And I want to show others that you can be a good person and be successful. I'm going to try. And for me, it's asking God. It's look, God, I'm going to do what you say. I'm not going to lie and cheat in business. I'm not going to abuse people. I'm not going to step on others. I'm not going to. If me and another person are up for a role, for promotion, never going to shit on them, never going to sabotage them. I'm never going to sabotage anyone. I'm not that type of person. All I'm asking God for at this point, and he doesn't have to show me anything because he shows me through what happens, through the thing that happens, is I'm testing to see if this is really there, if the good really does win out. I am like a test subject. This is how I view myself. I'm a test subject for morality when it comes to business. I'm going to go into business and I'm going to do the most honorable. I'm trying to be nice as I can. And obviously I'm going to mess up. I'm not going to be perfect. And I don't even think I'm any better than anyone else in business. I don't think these business people are all terrible. Some of them might be, right? But I'm using myself as a test of morality to say, hey, you don't have to be an evil person to accrue a large amount of wealth. There's some fools, the new socialists that are you're just, if you participate in the system, then you are perpetuating the system. They're tweeting that on an iPhone and they're Nike slides or something. Those people are just NPCs, bro. No joke. But I want to be honest about my shadow self, man, because there is things that make me angry. There's people I don't like. I hate seeing people that step on others to get success. I hate seeing people that are unqualified for their position, but they're there because they know how to play the politics. I hate that stuff. I like performance. I like people that work hard. I like people that care for others. I like people that go into business with a genuine intent. the problem with capitalism, and I made fun of the socialists. I'll have a longer episode. Maybe this is probably a YouTube video of socialism versus capitalism. I make fun of the socialists, and I do think they are NPCs, and they don't work hard, and they're lazy, and they just complain. And I do think that's true, and they have some damage in their heart that they need to fix. I think that's true. But the problem with capitalism is you can't have profit be the end goal, because eventually you'll create a system that prioritizes profit over human like non-suffering, over like human experience, right? So right now the idea is, let's use capitalism. We made a system based on profit, and profit typically helps humans have less suffering. That does make sense, and it's worked so far. And people say, oh, it's exploited this. No, dude, out of any system, capitalism has helped the most. But I understand your problem with it. Well, not really, because I think your problem is usually misguided. Maybe not, though. Maybe we agree. I don't mean to be too judgmental. But the problem with capitalism is that we can build this system, and it's like, okay, cool, it's getting a lot of humans that are suffering, but what if the system gets to a point where it's like, oh, well, these companies profit for, these companies, that was bad, all right, L. These companies profit from making humans suffer more. Pharmaceuticals, What do we do then? That's the problem with capitalism, is if we put money and profit first, and I say this because I was talking about the businessmen, just valuing nothing but profit, and that I think that's soulless of them. If these companies and these structures end up adapting to a point where they are gaining profit from human suffering, then do we change it? Then capitalist, does it make sense to not value profit? Then does God return? Then does spirituality return? Then do we have morals besides objectivism, which I like objectivism actually, compared to most philosophies. But yeah, man, that's my shadow self. I am like a killer, man. Like I'm not like a OJ type killer, and not like I really won't think I'm like that cool, like, oh, you're a killer or anything. No, but I do think about it. Like, I am strategic, and I try to be kind, but like the strategy is to get as much money as possible. And the reason why, I have a good reason for it. I want to have a big house where I can host large family gatherings and family reunions, and where I can host Christmas and Thanksgiving, where I can pay for all of my family to get there, pay all their travel expenses, pay for everyone's gifts, pay for everyone's food, pay for everyone's living, so they can just enjoy the holidays, and then let them invite anybody. And there's a lot of things I want to do. If I get the money that I want to help the homeless. I want to help with education. There's a lot of things, a lot of problems I want to solve. But before I get there, I need the power and I need the money. I have all the power except the power of my mind, but I need the money. So I am going into business. I go into it like I'm trying to be number one. I do not feel bad for you if you're failing. I want to be kind to you, but if I can't help you, I will let you fall, But I really, really try not to let that happen. That's the shadow self that I deal with, man. I said 30 minutes to 45, so I guess we'll get closer to 45 because there's one more thing I wanted to talk about today, and it's how to look cool when entering a room, how to look powerful. And this is just my strategy. There's a lot of ways to do it, right? But a way you can look cool, and this is without abusing your power too. This is the cool thing about it. You don't need to be, this isn't like go in and challenge the alpha. No, dude. This is with positive energy only, man. The best way to look cool, to look powerful. And this does not mean everyone will like you, because there's no way to make everyone like you. And ideally, some people dislike you in this world, because that means you're actually doing something. But the best way to look cool when entering a room, looking powerful, how to look like, who is that person, is to prioritize positive interactions for yourself. That means the people you interact with, you want to be happy when interacting with them, and you want them to be happy when interacting with you. There's a few ways to do that. The way I do that is if I am in a new situation, in a new setting, say this is your first class in college, or even like a party or something, go up to someone no one else is talking to. Don't acknowledge other people. Walk in comfortable, look around like you're trying to understand the room, and then walk up to someone no one is talking to. Or walk up to someone you recognize. Just whatever you do, make your interaction positive for yourself and the other person, and let other people see that. So if you see someone no one else is talking to, walk up to them, hey, how's it going? What's your name? They might be shocked, maybe they push you away. This is also where you have to be smart, right? If you're in a new place, a lot of people adhere to social hierarchies. They don't want to look lame. So you can't walk up to, if you can find a nice person, that's nice, right? But you can't walk up to what people imagine the top of the social hierarchy is. Don't walk up to the coolest guy or the coolest girl there. No, walk up to someone that looks friendly, that you like, that's just doing their own thing, and go have a genuine positive interaction. Go try to learn about them. Hi, what's your name? Oh, that's cool. What brought you here? Oh, it's funny. I've heard about that place. Is it like this over there? Oh, I'm from this place. Oh, yeah, it's good to meet you. I like your shoes. Oh, are you into video games? Oh, have a genuine positive interaction. And once you do that, you have to have awareness at this point. Enjoy that person's company, but you can now notice, hopefully if you're aware enough, notice who takes a glance at you. Notice who is curious about you and is curious about your conversation. Then, once you're done talking to this person, either use that person as a connector. If they know someone else there, use them as a connector, right? Meet the people that they are cool with. So immediately, that's your way into the group. So use that person as, your connection, your network. Once you can network with them, network with their group. If they don't have a group, that's fine. What you need to do is you need to talk to them and be aware of who's looking at you. And whoever's noticing you, doesn't matter who they are curious about you. They may not know why. And usually a positive interaction people are curious about, because a lot of people go to social settings, and not even a lot, I'd say almost everyone, unless you have some alternate agenda. You go there to feel genuine human connection. You don't go there to express power. You're not like some crazy maniac. You go there because you want to socialize with others. You want other people to like you. You want to like other people. You want to have fun. So you should also come in with that mindset, right? Because this will all make a lot more sense. But say you're talking to one person and they don't have a group with them. Well, keep talking to them. Be social with them. But pay attention to who looks at you. And next, what you do is when you notice that someone looks at you and you're sure that they're looking at you, thank that person for the time. Be like, oh, we'll talk again soon. And now what you have to do is you need to end up in a conversation with that person on accident, air quotes for listeners only. You need to somehow end up in a conversation with that person. Make it seem natural. Don't walk up to that person, because then they're going to think that you noticed them looking. And maybe this is kind of deceitful, but what you want to do is end up with a conversation with that person. A way to do this is, one, just like casual things that you already do anyway, that's a regular social norm. Oh, maybe they're by the coat rack. You need to put on your coat. Go put your coat down. Go take your shoes off. Go ask for a drink. A good way, actually, I think about it now, is walking up to that person, be like, excuse me, is there, go up to them like you're going up to them with a purpose, and that purpose is not to interact with them. So walk up to that person, you see them looking at you, don't look at them back and stuff. Just walk around, look at the drinks. Walk up to that person and be like, excuse me, are the drinks for everybody? Like, I don't know, maybe they'll answer it. But either way, they're like, oh, this person's talking to me now. Now they have interest in you. Then boom, you're in. Like, oh, okay, cool. Then you say, oh, I'm Terran, by the way. Then you introduce yourself. Then you make it regular. Then you talk to them. And if you talk to some person in the group, big, very, very important thing when you introduce yourself to a group. And this is, like I said, this is to look cool, but in a genuine, like, positive fashion. When you go up to a group at a party or anyone, introduce yourself to everybody. Shake everybody's hand, everyone in the group. It might seem like redundant. If you're shy at first, it's kind of hard. But if you walk up to someone, say I walk up to this person and they're looking at me, his name's Joe. I'm like, hey, Joe, are these drinks for everybody? No, I don't know, actually. Like, I don't know if I should risk it. Anyway, no, I appreciate it. What's your name, by the way? Joe, I'm Terran. And then immediately after I introduce myself to Joe, I introduce myself to everyone else. Same if it's a girl. Oh, Sarah, nice to meet you. What is your name, by the way? And you introduce yourself, because it's the polite thing to do. The cool thing is, a lot of the tips I'll try to give, it's not like you're doing it to be like sly or like look like this or that, but it's like, if you want to be cool socially, comfortable socially, a lot of the things you need to do is just have manners, be comfortable in your own skin, and hopefully I can, guide you to do that. But after you introduce yourself to that person, meet all of them, small talk is fine. And if you don't know how to small talk, here's the line of questioning. Where are you from? What's it like there? What do people do there for fun? What do you do for fun? Oh, what are your interests? And then you get to genuinely know someone, because screw the small talk. No one even likes it anyway. No one wants to talk about the weather. Try to figure out who someone is. It'll make you seem a lot cooler. It'll make you seem a lot different. When you meet someone, you're actually like talking to them like what do you want to do in life? What are your goals? You know, who do you think you are? Like, what are you doing here? What brought you here? Like, ask them the why questions. Make them, or allow them to open up and say who they are. Allow them to tell their story. Everyone wants to tell their story, including yourself. You know, we all want to have someone listen to us. So ask people their story. But once you're in that room, so you've introduced yourself to one person, you've introduced yourself to that group, now people will take notice of you. Now you're a presence because you're walking where you want to walk, because you made the choice to walk up to that first person. Then you made a choice to walk up to the second person and then introduce yourself to the group. Now you can start letting loose. Now you can talk to basically whoever you want. Talk to the people in that group. Talk to someone else. People are recognizing you as someone that people look at, as someone that is comfortable with themselves. And when I say let loose, don't be a fool. My worry is like talking about like college kids, like let loose, go crazy. No, it's like just be genuine. If you're curious about something of someone at the place, be curious. Go ask them. Walk up to someone. Hey, where are you from? Oh, what brought you here? But you can't do that. You can do that at any point if you're very comfortable in yourself. But I know a lot of people suffer from social anxiety. I suffer from social anxiety. So an easier way to do this and to create a presence for yourself where you don't have to feel nervous. And the way you curve your nervousness is by curving everyone else's nerves around you. And no matter what you are, maybe you're someone, you know, that you think looks cool or attractive or unattractive or not cool, you will be intimidating to other people, because if they don't really know how to categorize you, they don't know how you are going to categorize them. And that's just biology. That's psychology, like 101. So you need to be able to provide a categorization for other people. And the best categorization, and there's a lot of depth to our character, but the best categorization is just for them to think that you are a social and comfortable person. Because if they see that you're comfortable and you're just nice and you're easy to talk to, they don't need to know much else about you. But they'll probably think, you know, you're nice, so you're not going to judge them. You're not going to be mean to them. As long as you can do that and break down that barrier, you're okay. Most barriers in social settings are other people not knowing what you are thinking of them. So you might think, you walk into a party or a social setting and you might think, oh, what are these people thinking about me? Well, the problem is these people are also thinking, what do you think about them? And you are not curving their nervousness by you being nervous. You have to find a way to be comfortable. And your goal in social settings should be to find a way to be comfortable. And I think the best way of doing that is this strategy: positive interactions only, casual interactions, being genuine to people, but also working your way up this perceived social hierarchy. Because once you work your way up, you can basically not adhere to it anymore. You can talk to someone that no one thinks or wants to talk to, and they're like, oh, why is he talking to him? And then you could talk to another group that doesn't want to say no to you talking to them, or another group that's just curious about who you are. And then people will just become curious who you are. And then that doesn't always bring just positive interactions, right? Because, you know, I've got it before. Who does this guy think he is? I love that one. It boosts my ego so much, actually, because who do you think I am? Who do you think I am? You know, you might think I'm too cool. I might be intimidating for you. And I love that. And I don't want to intimidate people. I never, ever, ever like walk up like, oh, you know me, I'm a tough guy. I'm not a tough guy. You guys could probably tell. But I do like when other guys are intimidated just from the fact of like my own comfort. Like, I'm not going to be uncomfortable or like listen to you. Like, there's no boss of me, man. There's no alpha in the room that I'm in. That's not myself. And not saying I'm alpha over anyone else, right? But I don't like even that whole mindset of like, who's the alpha thing. It's like, bro, we're just regular people. Just talk. Be conscious. You're not an animal. You're not an NPC, man. But yeah, if you guys are curious about it, let me know. I'll go into it depth. I might do a YouTube video, actually. I actually really like talking about that, and I think, hopefully I can help some people there. But guys, we're at 45 minutes. I appreciate you guys for listening. Seriously, new episode on Thursday. And follow me on the social platforms. I'll try to make it a little bit easier. Try to create some type of digital footprint for myself. But yeah, appreciate you guys for listening. Let me know if there's any topics you guys want me to cover, and I'll see you next time. Peace.